We're going to do a moment of silence this morning for Pat Gordon, who was a 40-year employee of the town of Abington as administrative assistant for the Woodsdale Zoning Board of Appeals, and she spent 30-plus years at the Abington Fire Department as their administrative assistant. So please join us for the salute to the flag and then a moment of silence for Pat.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First on the agenda today is vote to place what we call the Carista property off Vineyard Road, on Vineyard Road and off Vineyard Road in a conservation restriction. This we thought was done years ago, but apparently it wasn't. So in everybody's packet, Liz Shea, the town planner, put together the deeds and the parcels. For the record, I'm just going to read them. Map 63, lot 135, map 64, lot 14, map 64, lot 34, map 68, lot 2, and that's basically it. So again, this is land that the town, I think at one time was going to put out for auction and withdrew for it to be put in the conservation restriction, and it just didn't get done. So we're going to vote it today if that's the pleasure of the board.
Is this different than the ones we did?
We already did some update about this, yes. It's a whole, it's a very wet area, and it really makes sense, I think, to put it away for posterity. So I'll accept a motion to approve putting this in a trust.
I'll make the motion to put the Carista properties into a conservation trust.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Vote is unanimous. Next on the agenda is a discussion and vote on the opioid funds. So this has been ongoing for, I think, a year and a half I've been on the board. So it turned out there's $187,000 in the opioid settlement funds, which all communities get and can just get dispersed. So Nicole and I became the subcommittee to go over this. We did our research. The accountant updated the number for us. So our recommendations are that we disperse $70,000 to Abington Copes, which is a great organization in Abington that helped quite a few people. We want to disperse $50,000 to the Inweta Martin House, which is in Brockton, which they deal with females, and it's one of the only female places between here and I think the Cape. So they do great work over there. And then we have $62,500 that we would like to assign to the police department. And the chief's here, so we're going to talk about it. It'd be $12,500 for defibrillators, which we have in the cruisers, and they're out of date, and they need to be updated. $35,000 for mental health clinician training, and then $15,000 to tie into with the Narcan for an open house, or a couple open houses. I'm going to let the chief come up and give us a quick update, if you would, chief. And all of these expenditures fall within the guidelines for dispersing opioid money. Chief?
So thank you very much for this. It's often said, I've been up here a number of times talking about the enforcement that we take and all the arrest numbers that we're pulling in car stops, but this really gives us an opportunity to do community outreach. A lot of the money for this was ideally used for training and for, not enforcement. So none of this is going to be used for enforcement. So from the mental health clinician standpoint, we've had to try and think outside the box. So a lot of departments are getting grants for full-time mental health clinicians, and you have to apply for grants. And we're lucky enough to have one. She comes in once a week, 8 hours a day. 8 hours on Wednesday. But we have grant money for 24 hours, but there's just not enough of them within this company that we contract with to have the space. And so when Colleen goes out, she has to have a police officer attached with her. So thinking outside the box with this, it is my plan to identify an officer who currently has a bachelor's degree and try and get them to become a licensed mental health clinician. So it's a police officer that will never lose because we're not losing the grant money. And it's an officer that has all the gear that I'm wearing now that can go in and have, you know, be trained in defensive tactics should things go sideways. You know, in my last community I worked in recently, they had a call for someone with mental health issues. It was just a suicidal call. And a lot of the comments on social media were like, well, why didn't you just send a clinician? At no time would we send a clinician for something where someone was threatening themselves with a knife. Like, that's not, you don't send a clinician in for that. You send the police in for that. And if you have somebody trained as a licensed mental health clinician, you have all the jargon that you can speak with and for de-escalation and follow-ups and know what the services are. So this would be a massive, massive win. There's only one other agency, the Braintree Police Department, has this program. We're meeting with Sergeant Lydon next week to go over kind of what the steps would be to get this done. So this is a huge, huge opportunity, not just for the agency, but the community at large.
Great. Anybody have any other questions for the chief?
No.
Anybody out there in the crowd? No?
No.
Accept the motion to approve the opioid settlement
Can I actually
disbursement?
just say one thing?
Sure.
Just because we did get several applications, so just want to say that I know we took the time to read through them all, and my priority was just keeping the funds focused on Abington.
Good point.
And making sure that the use of the funds, you know, other towns get funds, so that really just keeping it here was my priority. So I know we got several applications. I read through them all. I know you read through them. All great organizations, great people, but that was the reason for my decision on what I thought would be good. And it was just to make sure that it was going to people that in Abington that could use them.
In that regard, the Edwina Mountain House
Yes,
ends
we-
up housing quite a few
Yes.
Abington
Yes.
residents, so they've been,
And we can't track specific people due to HIPAA, but we were, you know, there's ways that we can confirm that, yes, I know there's Abington, Rockland, like people that are from surrounding
Right.
communities that do utilize that house. Obviously, Abington Copes, I'm happy with the amount that they're getting. I think it'll be great. They can do a lot. They're in Abington, and then the police, so I'm happy with how we got to that.
and I think what we're going to try to do going forward is to disperse the money once a year
Yes.
as it comes in. I don't know how long it took for this to accumulate, but want to get it out there helping people.
Do we
So-
have the is the website still being worked on? Or who's the
The
person?
website person?
Yes,
Yeah, she's still alive.
okay, all right,
Yeah, she'll put all this out,
okay.
so. Motion to approve the opioid settlement disbursements.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made, is there a second?
One second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, vote unanimous.
Thank you very
Chief.
much. This is really going to help
Thank you.
out. Thank you.
Oh, Chief, one more thing, if we could have you up. Can you give us an update on the cameras?
Cameras, I'm wearing it here. So January 1st, we deployed our body cameras. They've been great so far. We are now beta testing translation services, so I can have a conversation with someone. I think it's 87 different languages. It does automatic detection. I can say what language I need, or if I don't know what language it is, because I struggle with the one I'm speaking now, so I don't know any others. But it does an automatic detection, and we can quite literally have conversations with people. So it's just going to be a huge help. I will say, it goes a long way for the transparency of the agency. Our officers do an incredible job. I think complaints around the country for departments that are deploying body cameras have dropped significantly. So, it's a lot of accountability for the police officers, but I will say it's accountability for the public at large, too. This was a demand by the public that we have cameras in, and I'm not saying people of Abington, but the community, the state as a whole, demanding body cameras. And we worked very hard. This was not a single dollar out of the Abington residents. It was all done on grant work. And this will be accountability for residents, too, because we do get a lot of police, complaints about our police officers, and this will help determine whether or not people complaining about our officers are telling the truth. And if someone comes in and files a false complaint, we'll now have documentation that that was a false complaint, and we will submit a criminal application for filing a false police report. So this isn't just a gotcha moment for, police department, police officers and things like that. This is going to ensure accountability from everybody on scene.
Good. Thank you, Chief, and sorry about the Uxbridge officer, I see you wearing your band.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. We had, I'm very, very proud to say, we had a number of officers attend the wake yesterday and the funeral today. So
Great.
Our department is well represented there to say goodbye to a fallen
Excellent.
officer.
Thank you. Thank you again, Chief.
All right, thank you.
Next item on the agenda is an update on Town Manager Search Committee. Search Committee has met once already. We're meeting again Saturday, the 17th at 8 a.m. To review the applications, and then we'll narrow it down to 5 that will be interviewed on Saturday, the 24th. Yes, and then we'll narrow it down to at least 3 per the charter, recommend those to the Board of Selectmen, which will interview the finalists at the Selectmen's meeting on the 26th of January. That's it. That was a quick one. Next item on the agenda is an update on the budget. Quick update, we had a budget subcommittee meeting yesterday?
Yesterday.
With myself, with Mr. Maresco, with Kevin Donovan, the assessor, the treasurer, and the accountant. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Maresco to give us a quick update. We're going to push this to the 26th anyway, but
And as residents and the board knows, these are very challenging times, and, all departments are working and scrambling to make sure that we identify every dollar that's out there. That's going to be important, that we not only keep our expenses tight, but we also identify those revenues so we lessen that burden. As folks know, that there's going to be an override question on the ballot. Before we can ask people to contribute, we've got to make sure that we've identified our dollars. We had a really productive meeting yesterday. There's a lot of pieces in play, and we'll keep updating folks, and, I feel positive that we'll identify every dollar that's out there before we have to ask people to dig in.
right. One other thing in regard to the budget, we should probably do a vote to remove that question from town meeting.
Yes.
So there is a question that's going to be on town meeting to add 4 police officers, which we're going to vote now to withdraw it. We can't do it now. We just don't have the money. I spoke to the chief. Please come up, chief. He understands, so
Just on that, one of the selectmen's meetings where I was up here talking about our budgets, I promised you that I would work really, really hard to get us our needs in tough financial times. I wouldn't ask for wants. We need this override to keep the people that we have currently. We wanted 4 extra bodies. Now's not the time to ask for wants, and we recognize that, and I do support the pulling of this.
thanks, chief. We appreciate you
yeah.
understanding the situation. So if we could just get a motion to,
Mr. Chair, what
Sure.
I would just recommend, if you don't mind, it's not listed on the agenda item, even though the budget's there, we can have a
Put it on the
general conversation.
26th?
We'll put it on for the 26th.
That's fine with everybody, we'll do
just
it
so
on
that
the,
there's
but
no
everybody's, the chief is in agreement, and the money's just not there. It's not fair to the public to try to do it in light of what's going on, so.
I'm
put it
glad
on.
you differentiated between the need and the want, because what is going to be what will be on there is the need to keep us where we're at, right? So the police
Exactly.
ask will be what's needed to keep us where we're at, and the extra was just, it would be good to have.
Right. Thank you again, chief. Next on the agenda is ratification of the easement. We have an easement that needs to be executed, voted and executed by the board in regard to the DPW fire station new facility down on Central Street. It's a standard document for construction, is that basically
That
covered?
is correct, Mr. Chairman. It's to allow the utility company to come in and put the lines and the poles in so that we can juice up the buildings.
Perfect. Motion to approve the easement,
I'll make a motion to approve the easement.
is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, vote is unanimous. Last item on the agenda, and before I forget, can we put on our 26th agenda the discussion of what's floating around on the Board of Health policy on the animals, which I'm against, and we'll get all the I want to get that out to the public.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit of an overreach in my opinion, but I don't want to get into it now. We'll put it on as an agenda item and discuss it in public. Next on the agenda is vote to open the annual town meeting warrant on January 26th and close on Friday, February 20th, 2026, at the close of business at 12:30 PM. This is a standard item we do every year for town meeting for everybody to submit their articles. We don't have any money, so we don't need to have a vast amount of time for articles to be submitted, but we still have to do it. So I'll take a motion to open on the 26th and close on February 20th.
I make a motion to open on the 26th and close on Friday, February 20th.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Vote is unanimous. That's all we have for today. Motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you.